I think we're good.
Cool. All right. Welcome everyone into the Super Bowl preview edition of the Hooley Brothers podcast, coming to you on a Saturday afternoon here. One day away from the big game. Mike, how you doing?
Pretty good. I like how you say big game because you can't. What's the thing you can't legally say Super Bowl?
I mean, I've definitely said it multiple times on this last week, but yeah, just kind of getting creative with that. But before we get to all that, we had quite the week in the association, Mike.
Yeah, I just decided to go crazy out of nowhere. It's
A few
talked
trades went
about
down.
the Rob Perez sign we talked about the other day is just
Mm-hmm.
a never-ending meme.
Because yeah, what I can't even remember when did the Kyrie trade go final?
It broke on Sunday, so we talked about it like 2 hours after it happened.
Oh right, I forgot we met on Sunday. Right, yeah, that was a weird one. But yeah, that was just the first of many chips to fall there. So very busy deadline, everything kind of going into it. So yeah, that was kind of the first like big trade, unless I'm forgetting something. And then obviously we had again before we even get into the trades, then early in the week, Braun obviously breaks the scoring record, which I guess we could talk about that for a sec. I do want to defend him a little bit. I feel like some people were making a big deal about us stopping the game and everything, and I'm like, they did that for Ray Allen, they did that for Steph Curry for the 3-point record. Not even literally, no one has scored more points than him in regular season play in the history of this league. So that is something I do have to defend him on a bit.
Yeah, I don't think he was anything like pompous or anything. It's just funny they lost.
It is funny they lost, yeah. And yeah, I mean the game maybe went a little longer than those two, but yeah, I mean, like I said, stopping the game in general, like that's not unprecedented, right? Like that's happened before. So yeah, I had no problem with that. But yeah, it is funny. It's one of those things like I actually did stay up because I was like, all right, we went to the movies, I got back, the game had just started. I'm like, all right, I'll throw it on while I like scroll through my phone, get ready to bed, see how he's doing. And I'm like, all right, he's getting this tonight. Like it was like once he had like, because I think he had like 2 or 6 like really early on. I'm like, maybe not. Maybe he'll only score 30, and it'll be early on Thursday, which he didn't even end up playing. But after a while, it became apparent, like, okay, no, he's feeling it. He's gonna get it tonight. Which is funny because he only ended up going like 2 points over, right? Like it seemed like he got he got it in the third, like 10 seconds in the third quarter, and then I think he only scored like 2 points the rest of the game.
Yeah, for me, I was like, I'm not even gonna attempt to watch this game. I went to bed like at 10. I was just like,
no, you got to commit.
You
got to commit like one way or the yeah.
And I didn't want to be like, so you should go to bed around like 10:45. I didn't want to be there being like, oh, he has 20 points. Now I got to stay up, especially because on Sunday I did the same thing. I'm like, well, Grammy should end at 11. I'll stay up. Next thing you know, I'm watching it till like midnight for no reason.
Yeah. That was like
hard cut.
I feel like I remember because I was still getting used to, I was coming off of, I mean, it was a whole year, I guess, at this point, but my body was getting used, still adjusting from college life to the full-time grind. So I remember not staying up for the simultaneous Warriors 73rd win, Kobe last game. So I'm like, I need to watch this. So
that was
that
was awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I can't have that happen again. So like, I need to stay straight live. But yeah, so so it was a cool moment. Again, Kareem was there sipping his cranberry juice or whatever it was courtside. That was pretty funny to watch. A lot of yeah, a lot of celebs in the crowd. LaShannon was there. Yeah, exactly. Handing the ball over like that. But a good moment. But then that's kind of from there on, obviously led to Wednesday night, and I'll kind of just briefly hit on the Celtics very undermanned win against the Sixers, which we'll probably cover a bit here. But that's kind of when the first big trade dropped, also involving the Lakers. The 3-way at one point all-star point guard trade. Which sent, again, another other players involved, but again, the main piece is D'Angelo Russell going back to the Lakers, Russ going to Utah for now, and then Mike Conley going to Minnesota, who seems to just be trying to create the Utah Jazz in Minnesota. So I don't know. People thought it was like a big. I just feel like D'Angelo Russell, how Westbrook's actually been decent this year, and maybe it's like attitude, or not an attitude, but just like the personalities weren't getting along. So maybe that's why they made this trade. But I don't think it makes them like significantly better.
I think D'Angelo Russell, it is. I gotta specify.
D'Angelo, yes.
He's been playing better the last few weeks. I
Yeah.
think that the team that this deal makes the least sense for is the Timberwolves, because it's Russell's sort of a guy that's like, okay, he's overpaid. Let's just hope he plays well and just do it. Whereas Conley is like 35 years old and on the back end of a contract where, yeah, he was probably not an overpay at the time, but like you knew the last like year or two is going to be pretty bad. And that's
at the time, it was like the biggest deal in like history.
I think that was
the
deal before this one, because that was in the
okay.
Like again,
got it. Okay,
a couple years ago, but now it's 7 years ago. So
yeah,
I maybe they wanted something more consistent, because I feel like Conley will give you like 10 and 7 every night, whereas Russell, some nights he could give you 25 and 10, and other nights he can have 4 with 8 turnovers. It's like definitely maybe a less risk reward, but yeah, I guess it's one of those moves I'm like, sure. And I think after the trade happened, I feel like Westbrook was a locker room problem at the end. That's what they're saying.
I think the word is vampire. Like that's the word you're looking for.
Yeah, a little energy empire. Colin Robinson.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Russ Robinson there. But no, I mean, I think that was the word for, was that McMenamin, I think, had reported that. But yeah, wild situation there. But then also, like, again, just to kind of quickly go back to the Lakers, that whole Anthony Davis thing. Did you see those clips of him during the game?
Down.
I don't know. It's something. It's just it's something, right? Like it's kind of a weird thing to do. So, yeah, I kind of.
That's pretty sad.
Which it's like fair, I guess. But come on, like I don't know, like just get up for like 2 minutes. Like I don't know. But yeah. So again, really then again, this was all Tuesday night, or Wednesday night, really, and then a few hours later. Again, I hate when this happens. The same thing happened to us. I'll never forget, Mike. We were at the cottage. We stayed up actually pretty late, and then that's when the whole Kawhi Paul George news broke late. And this one, I think it was around like 1:40 a.m. So I was obviously long asleep at this point, but just like waking up in the morning, like deciding like, do I have more, like, oh, my alarm's not going to go off for a second. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, obviously the news of Kevin Durant going to Phoenix and the blockbuster deal, pieces going back to Brooklyn, including Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, along with Boss Man, who then Jay Crowder, who obviously got dealt in a separate deal. I think even a couple times. Right? No, we'll get to the details of that. But anyway, that kind of was the big storyline, obviously, Wednesday night going into Thursday. So that really just set that the Thursday being the trade deadline, that obviously got it off to a really hot start. And really changes the whole dynamic of the league. I mean, the Nets were obviously not going to. It didn't seem like they were going to win, obviously, when the whole thing with KD. But now, like, they're not. They're going to fade fast. Although Cam Thomas, just doing Cam Thomas, and we made the joke with building the plane. They really are just building the plane out of wings now. They're just going to do an all wing lineup. I'm pretty sure.
3-and-Ds. That's all they kind of want right now. They have a lot of them. Between 2 they picked up in this deal, Finney Smith coming in from Dallas. So I think I saw some guy went on a rant on like Broussard's show where he was like, the Nets just couldn't make up their mind. It was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we have a lot of good like 3-and-D pieces. We're gonna build our team out of like kind of run like the Spurs and have a thing. It's like, wait, never mind. We're gonna get Durant and Kyrie. Oh wait, never mind. We're gonna get Harden. Oh wait, Harden was the problem. Oh wait, and now it's like after 5 years, they're like, okay, we're just gonna go back to where we started like 4 years ago.
It's like, here's just a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
we don't have our own picks, so we got to do something. Like,
I'm shocked they didn't like. I know you have to make this move with the salaries to match, and maybe on like draft night or something, they'll completely tear it down, because like the team is good enough to be like an 8 seed now, just with all like, I mean, there's no with if Thomas is going to score 40 points a game, they have 3-and-D. Claxton's like in the, for better or worse, is in the DPOY. talks. So
yeah. So yeah, I mean that was obviously kind of the big move after the Kyrie move, and then that 3-team trade as well. But yeah, I mean like that obviously shakes things up. You have to think that Phoenix is, one of, if not the favorite out west. Again, I think people are crowning it a little too soon for a team that has not played, because KD didn't play last night.
he's been out for.
Oh, he's injured. Duh. Yeah. Yeah. But and also, again, we probably were listening to the same, our guys on PMT yesterday, just like, 35-year-old with Achilles problems and noted playoff winner Chris Paul. Like, what could possibly go wrong here? Like this, like.
Yeah, and noted healthy playoff winner Chris Paul. Like
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Health for both of them.
I'm not ready to crown them. I mean, they're definitely going to be a problem, but I think as a Celtics fan, that the two teams that scare the crap out of me are still Milwaukee and Golden State. So.
Oh yeah, I mean Golden State, like they could be any, as long as they're in the top 10. I'm like they're gonna.
As long as they're in the
I
dance,
might.
they're getting there. Like.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to take them down. But that's the thing. I think that maybe helps Phoenix is like there isn't any like clear cut. Team out west, like it's. I mean, like Denver's been good, but like I mean, obviously you don't have like they haven't been to the finals before. I mean, it's. It seems like there's a lot of teams I would not be shocked came out of the West. Like you could list like a lot of teams for me. And I would not be surprised, which is really, I mean, like awesome just to think about how much the league's changed the last few years as far as like it's not just like one or two. Like you could tell me Golden State, Phoenix, Denver, maybe the Clippers getting their acts together. I mean, I know like it's kind of a joke at this point, but like they do have talent on paper, especially if they end up getting Russ in this buyout market, which we'll obviously see. And they made a million moves too. But yeah, we'll obviously see how that goes. What's that?
Third seed Kings.
Okay, yeah, well, I'd be a little surprised at that. But Memphis, which is funny because I think it was CJ, our guy CJ McCollum was like, this all started when Josh said, "I'm good out west. I'm only worried about the Celtics." And then now there's been a huge power shift to the West, which again, I think because of the way they're doing the game, like that shouldn't. I mean, I know injuries are one thing, but like that shouldn't affect like who's an all-star or not, right? Like maybe with replacements, like if KD doesn't play, you add a West guy now. I don't. Or
well, I mean, I don't even know. Did do some. I know I wrote it down.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna keep a track of that.
Embiid, Laurie, and Ja left. No, okay. So that was what came out yesterday. So I thought Durant was in that mix, but apparently not. So it was Embiid, Laurie, and Ja, and Siakam and Fox in. Oh no, wait. Embiid, Laurie, and Ja are starting. Ant, Siakam, and Fox are in the game.
Yeah.
Durant, Curry, and Zion.
Curry, Zion.
So those are.
So they replaced. They replaced Durant and Siakam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus. So they're
still yeah. I guess he's a front court player because I'm like, damn, still no Jalen Brunson, but that makes sense. There hasn't been an East guard yet.
I think Siakam was well worth it.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, just kind of like running through. I mean, those are again kind of the big deals. We'll see what shake. Be here. But yeah, I mean, like we talked about the 3-team deal. Lakers will also get Beasley and Vanderbilt deal, which is that like the awkward Scottie Pippen or
coming in a little crackly here. So what did you say?
Oh, sorry. I said talking about the Lakers getting Beasley and Vanderbilt. I said, is that the awkward Scottie Pippen Jr. situation?
Yeah. He's Beasley and mother had some fun.
Had some history, yeah. Also, going back to like again, kind of looking through our notes again. I thought about the Suns also getting TJ Warren and this thing that I pointed out the other day where they photoshopped Kevin Durant into a Nets jersey and then kept TJ Warren in his Nets jersey, despite the fact that one, you have the ability to Photoshop because you just put KD in there, and then Mike's shown to the screen. And TJ Warren has played for the Phoenix Suns before, so
barely really in the net for half a year.
Yeah, he's barely been in the Nets, so I don't know. Interesting choice by the
media
department.
My gears too is that they put the 3 Suns in the same jerseys. Like they could at least photoshopped the same jersey on Durant.
The only Photoshop I've seen Durant is in the Valley jersey. I don't know why. Like I like.
This is just like
Also, all three of them have played in the Valley jersey, so even if you're somehow limited to that, but yeah, it was a mess. I don't know who, like, they seem like they put that together in like 5 minutes. They're like, gotta get this graphic out here. But yeah, I mean, then the funniest thing now is the trade value of players just getting traded for 5 second-round picks. Started with
of course,
Boss Man, but
the meme that's coming out where it's like, here's the deal. Okay, give me 5 seconds. Okay, sure.
yeah, it's literally like fake money at this point.
Yeah. Well,
like, no one's gonna remember that.
I do like how we're skipping the middleman, because it used to be like, oh, this guy traded for a first, and it's like, well, it's a top 25 protected first that if it doesn't hit in the first year, it'll be 3 seconds. Now we're just
it's like
5 seconds.
It's like this isn't gonna hit. So yeah, that was the big one there, because what ended up, I don't even know what ended up happening with all that. Like, I can't even read. I don't even know. But also, there was kind of a cool moment, Mike. And you have this down here for later on, but I thought, did you see the video of Jalen Brunson at his Villanova jersey retirement, finding out about Josh Hart?
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was awesome. So we got a bit of a reunion there. I also didn't realize too that at one point, Josh Hart and Larry Nance just traded houses.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, so I think it's like now Larry Nance is like, now I got to sell my house in Portland because he's obviously moving on to New York. So yeah, that deal. So what was it? What was he just that? Yeah, it was Reddish and Archidiakono and Svi.
Yeah, Svi.
Going to Portland.
They took Svi in 2 seconds.
Oh, right.
And that became a part of the 3-way deal that sent Jalen McDaniels to the Sixers, and the Philly legend Matisse Thybulle is now a Blazer. And I know some Philly fans were done with him long ago, so I think they're really happy about him being shipped out.
Which is funny because I feel like he was really good to start, and then
because that was the whole thing that we in the draft we technically drafted Thybulle, but got Grant, and everyone like was at 10 games for like, wow, could have had him. Like,
when Grant missed like his first 25 3-pointers, so
yeah, and then it's very funny. Things can change quickly. Grant's been, I guess, maybe the biggest disappointment on the team. I mean, that's not.
Yeah, but I mean, look at last year. You know,
I'm saying that like even his down year, he has way more value than him.
Right, so. Right. But yeah, I mean, a lot of you can't even like. I mean, there's just so much that was going on. Like every 2 seconds, it just seemed like it was like it took me a while, but I finally turned on the notifications for Shams and Woj, and it just seemed like every 2 seconds something was flying in there.
The winner Woj with beat him 11-10.
The 11-10, the stat muse, that thing was awesome with the cartoons, keeping track of everything. So Woj won this round. Just kind of like running through the list. I mean, I know we're kind of talking. Why don't we'll focus on the other big name one at least, and that's the John Wall experiment officially ending in LA and going right back where he started with all this.
He's going home.
He's going home. Him and Danny Green both going to Houston. Seems like both of those guys will.
They'll do it to him. You ever seen that meme?
Which one? The
Danny Green one?
Oh, yeah. Wait, is that like at the Holocaust Memorial?
Yep.
It's like, did you have to do it to them? Because I mean, imagine they'll both get bought out of their deals. Yeah, the best is like the grids too. Like that's such a like 2010 photo. I don't even know like what.
Why did you have to do it to him?
You did not. You did not have to do it to him. But yeah, so yeah, Wall and Green, like I said, both will probably get bought out. I'm assuming it's definitely Danny Green. They're already talking about who's going to be interested in him. Including maybe.
I think the winners in this deal is just the Grizzlies being like, okay, I'll take a little Luke Kennard off your.
Yeah, whatever's happening here, I'll snag one slightly used Luke Kennard, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then so Eric Gordon obviously going back to the Clippers, another homecoming. So a lot of people going back to teams they played for before. I think I can't remember if he got drafted there or if he was New Orleans. He played for the Hornets and the Clippers early on. I can't remember the order. And then, yeah, so that was the other one involving big names. It was just kind of hilarious to see John Wall after all this. Like, I feel like he was just kind of stuck in Houston, and now he's right back there, at least for the moment. Other moves, Celtics were in on Jakob Poeltl, but he ends up going back to Toronto in that deal with the Spurs, Ken Burch, and a couple picks there. So,
I'm not really sure what Portland, what the Raptors are
Toronto's
doing.
no one does. The Raptors don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people.
Masai doesn't want to tank.
Like, I've seen a lot of like Raptors fans being like, "I was a big like," and he has a lot of leeway. And Masai we trust, but
Yeah. He won a championship in Toronto.
Oh, sorry, I have the last year's Super Bowl on the TV right now, and it's the Nixon pass. Just came out.
But yeah, so yeah, no one knows what they're doing up there. It seems like they're trying to build what they got. They didn't sell anything; they only bought. So we'll see what comes of all that.
I mean,
years to come.
They definitely have. They just got to start winning. I mean, they still have talent between OG, Siakam, Pirtle will be good. I'm just surprised they traded for him because his contract's up. I feel like he's the type of guy that if that's what he wanted, he would have just signed there. He didn't have to give up the. I know it's protected, but he didn't have to give up the first.
Mm-hmm. And then what? I'm just kind of running through the list now. Bones Highland also going to the Clippers. Clippers made a lot of moves.
Yeah, they also picked up Plumlee.
Mm-hmm. And then Reggie Jackson.
I'm assuming
got traded to Charlotte, right?
Yeah, he's in Charlotte. So I'm assuming he'll get bought out. Maybe a college coming home, send him to pick him back up here.
Oh, would love it. No, it would be funny if he ended up on the Lakers and Russ ended up on the Clippers. Like, it's just a very indirect backup point guard trade. And then Pat Bev gets shipped out of the Lakers as well to Orlando for now, getting bought out. Assumingly. What about Mo Bamba?
Like, it was like 10 minutes after the trade got announced, he was like packed out. Like, he was with his like dad or like a friend. Like a U-Haul was already packed up and he was like ready to go. It was like 10 minutes broken. Like, he posted. You want to keep talking? I'll try to find it and show you.
Just has that on deck, ready to go. I did see, Mike. How about this for some nice comparisons? Big men to go from Orlando to the Lakers. Shaq, then Dwight Howard, now Mo Bamba. So I did see that. Hey, he was ready to go here, man. Jeez.
He just looks very happy. He's like,
I'm done with Orlando and the like 7 centers that we have at any given time.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think, did anyone? Oh, because they traded Thomas Bryant, right? So he basically was going to take his spot.
Yeah, I mean,
LAX was
Thomas Bryant. They wouldn't feed him.
LAX was the LeBron like all the time when he shot. He's just like, I'm right here. He
said once AD got back, he wasn't going to get playing time. So
yeah, because I thought the Celtics in on Mo Bamba for a hot sec there.
We were in on him, Pirtle, and then in the offseason we were in on Bryant, but we ended up now with Mike Muscala.
Yeah, Bucknell, great. Mike Muscala made his debut last night. Hit some shots. But yeah, LAX seems like LAX was busy this week. 50. Yeah, I said that too. So we got dinner before the movie last night, and I'm like, I gotta go high. You gotta do like a Blake. Go to the 90s then. You know what I mean? Like, don't 57. Like, I feel like Keon Dooling kind of capped out at 51. I'm like, that's like if you're gonna go 51, you got to go like 77 or like 90.
Yeah, I feel like once you get past 50 in basketball, it's just an eye test. It's like either like that works or oh my god, that doesn't work. And that was my 57. Because even like 55, that can work. Or
it's true. Yeah, 55. Yeah, you're right. 50, 51, 55, maybe 52. Nothing in the 60s really, unless you want to get funny.
I think 6D works.
6D if you're a big man. If you're a big man, you can do 60. 70. Someone was 71 with the Celtics? Who's that? Oh, wasn't it Schroeder? Schroeder. Yeah, 71's not bad. There's two like thin numbers. 77, obviously Luka kind of made that a thing anyway. I don't really think anything in the 80s. I think Chris Webber did that with the Pistons. He was 84. 84, I guess, kind of plays.
Yeah, I think if you're like,
and then all the 90s kind of work though.
Yeah, I think 80s can only work if it's like oh, I was definitely like a wide receiver in like high school or something.
Yeah, Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Ojo Cinco, maybe. No. Yeah. So that was awful number, but yeah, Mike Muscala makes his way over here.
Good number stuff
So
here.
he's
Can't get that anywhere else.
yeah, you really can't. But yeah, another center who has taken more threes than twos over the last like couple of years, so that's always interesting. I get taking them, but more than twos is interesting.
Well, it's
Yeah, that
just
was the big
it's like a different. I don't think he's going to be. He's what we needed. Basically, just what Gallinari is, just a guy to stretch the floor. In the
taller
regular season.
Gallinari. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true because he's shooting well. He's almost 40% on the year. Three. So yeah, so that was kind of the big trade acquisition. We'll see how things go with the buyout market.
Last thing on the Celtics random note, I don't know why that they were on national TV against the Hornets, but when we were watching it, just like we left the channel and we came back. We were watching the ESPN broadcast, but when we came back, we turned on the NBC Sports. The color
I know where
was so weird last night. Know who was doing the play-by-play?
I do. It was Scal and Max.
Yeah, I'm like,
where was Grandy? Was he on the radio? I'm like, I want to know who's on the radio. I'm like, who's on the radio right now?
Is it just like Mike
It's
Monaco?
just John Wallach. It's just John Wallach.
Yeah. Like at that point, I'm like, can we just get you in the booth? Like, is that...
Yeah, it's John Wallach and maybe they traded Eddie House over there for a day. No, yeah, that was wild. Because it was on mute, but the bar had the NBC Sports Boston one on. Yes, that was interesting. And then also, the Tatum became the youngest, first player under 25 to hit 1,000 3-pointers. So I imagine that'll get broken like next year now. And then did you see the Derek White stat line that's never happened before?
I knew that he has hit a bunch of threes in the first half. But
I think it was I don't know if he had 10 assists. It was something like 8 3-pointers. The only player in NBA history like 8 3-pointers, 10 assists, and 3 blocks or something like this. It was like a very specific stat line, but no one's ever done it before. White.
I have. I forgot. The Odell Terry CL play just popped up.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just like on a drag route. It was like a 1-yard check down. It just was like behind him. So I guess we can say that Matt Stafford towards CL. But back to Derek White. I did see a meme where it's like, I think Derek White must be the hardest player to explain to non-NBA fans.
It's like, is he good? Well, sometimes.
It's like he's a guard that can shoot threes, but he's not a good 3-point shooter. He's good on defense mainly because he blocks shots, even though
he's short.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. He is hard to. He's just kind of there, and he's pretty good at what he does.
I just made that up. That's I think that's the best way to describe a shooter. He can shoot well, but he's bad at it. That's like.
He's like an Apollo Creed. Like he shoots great, but he's not a great shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. We got into football at some point. So we're gonna rattle off some of these trades that we haven't covered. Wiseman traded to Detroit,
but
Bay, and Atlanta.
Do you see this as
right?
Because apparently
under further review,
were injecting Gary Payton with Toradol.
God!
All for the 10 seed.
Because then he was supposed to go back to the Warriors, right?
Yeah, it was technically a 4-way deal where Wiseman to the Pistons, Sadiq Bey to the Hawks, 5 seconds in Knox to the Blazers, and then Gary Payton.
the going rate of 5 second-round picks. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, we're gonna need a printout at some point. Once I feel like everything's still not settled yet.
Yeah, but I think the funniest part of that deal is that if it goes through, like the trading Wiseman saves them like $100 million.
Sure. Yeah, I think I saw that too. Yeah, I don't get how that makes sense, but okay. Well, because like luxury tax, right?
Yeah, they shed off his like $10 million of salary, but because they're so far over his $10 million, give him like 7 times tax. So it's like, but they're taking back some money on Gary Payton. I think that's what they said before the fourth part of the deal, because originally just the three-way got announced.
Yeah. Josh Richards of the Pelicans, Devontae Graham, who already had a great game last night for the Spurs. Sarge to OKC, Basley to Phoenix, Garrison Matthews to the Hawks.
Celtic great for Fernando. That deal.
It's Celtic, yeah. He'd sell. Wait, because where did Dedmon end up? Is he just like
Spurs. I'm assuming.
Oh,
he,
right. Okay.
Any decent veteran that goes to a shitty team, I just assume at least get bought out.
Yeah, they get bought out. Yeah. But yeah, I think that covers most of it. There were a million trades, tough to cover them all.
I think the
but
one
I mean, a lot of the big
thing
ones.
that was on that list is I think the two underrated ones on the list is that I don't hate the Basley pickup for the Suns, like because they traded their entire
I said that.
He's going to be. I know.
I guess. Okay.
Because they traded away all their depth, he's going to be like a seventh man for them, and I feel like I liked what
Which they need.
Under. And then I do like the pickup for Kessler Edwards on the Kings, just being okay. Like if he goes up and plays well, that's great, more depth. And if not, okay, like it's a very low risk, high reward type thing. So yeah.
And then I think we actually hit on most of these miscellaneous items we had listed, except for really getting more in depth about the hospital Celtics beating the Sixers. We went in obviously with no Al, no Rob, and I thought Embiid would have scored like 45 points, like no question. Like, he held down the fort. Cornette held down the fort. Tatum, for some reason, elbowed Brown in the face. Just kidding. Obviously an accident there. So we'll see mask Jalen for a little bit. His face, did you see that picture he posted yesterday? Was like his left side's just like mask season incoming. So look out for mask Jalen. But yeah, nice win. Oh, I told you last night, Mike, I had a hot NBA take for us. And here it is. I want to see if you agree with me, because the way I pose the question is gonna say how I feel about it. Celtics, who would you rather run into in a series right now in the playoffs? Sixers or the Heat?
Sixers.
I agree. Right?
Well, I mean, the Heat they're the same team. I mean, I feel like that happens a lot in the NBA where, like, I mean, the Warriors were a 3 seed last year. Like,
no, I know. I'm just saying, like, the Heat have always caused this. I mean, Jimmy Butler, just playoff Jimmy, like, even if like the Sixers have like a way better record, even if they have a better record than us, I know they're not too far behind. I know the Bucks are obviously making a charge too, just one game behind the Celtics. But yeah, I was just thinking about that last night because I said Jimmy had that game winner, and it just made me think. I'm like, you know what? I still think I'm more afraid of them than Philly.
Yeah,
I think they might be my number 2 team in the East.
I don't want the Heat to like be a 6 seed.
Yeah, I know. Like, like avoid a 1-6.
Yeah, like if we play them in the conference finals again, sure.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Right. Because then that means they take down the Bucks or the
exactly.
and or 6. Yeah,
because we're not playing the Bucks in the semis again. That's not happening.
No, hopefully, yeah. I don't see a situation where that happens. But yeah, so that was just the one take I was thinking about last night. Cam Thomas, that was a bad quote, but again, obviously, continuing to score in bunches there. And yeah, just kind of hopping around some other stuff before we get to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I know. I did love the pasta Happy Gilmore thing last weekend. That was pretty cool. They're just coming back today.
I put a note after talking to a more experienced hockey fan last night, Darby. I didn't know the NHL does this. It's actually really cool. They do bye weeks around the All-Star break. So half the league had the week off leading into the All-Star break.
Oh, okay.
And then the other half of the league had this last week off. So that's why the Bruins first came back from the break. So that's good. Even though the Bruskas. Did you hear that story?
No.
So because he had the bye week, he didn't make the All-Star game. He went home for a week. So on Thursday, the story broke. Thursday, his flight got canceled, so he can't play today.
Okay.
Can you not get back? Like you have like 36 hours, like 48 hours. I know it's a matinee today, but like, is there no flights coming out of Winnipeg? Like,
oh yeah, no, not till next day. It's only on Thursdays.
Yeah, like, could he not, fly to New York and then like fly there? Could he not drive to Calgary?
Take a bus somewhere? Yeah. I'm also getting really. I'm also really distracted because I have college game day, which will lead into our next topic here in Auburn. And there's 2 somewhat larger gentlemen who are wearing I want to say like button down, maybe like Tommy Bahama-ish shirts that are wide open and coconut bras. So it's a little distracting. So I'm like looking up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, how about we get to that real quick, and then we'll spend about 25, 30 minutes or so on Super Bowl. And also we can talk about WBC real quick. But I know you said, do you trust anyone? No, which tells me that there's a good chance. I think Kansas might just do it again. If we're gonna be honest,
I think that every team in the country stinks.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, like, that's why I think that could happen. Like, I feel like Kansas wins in those years. Like, they could have maybe won the COVID year where it was kind of like this, right? Like, it was kind of up in the air. Like, there was no clear cut, number one or favorite.
Well, it was
like,
different. I think in 2020 there were a lot of good teams. Right now, I think everyone stinks.
Everyone stinks. Okay, got it. All right.
If you look at a game, any ranked team on the road, they're just going to lose outright.
They're going to lose outright. Yeah.
Like Butler's the worst team in the conference. There's only one power conference game last night. It was Xavier Butler, and
yeah,
the amount of just Xavier. They went down early. They were back, and I watched the end of it. They Chris Webbered.
Oh no, never want to do that. Never go full Weber.
they got a shot blocked and it landed on their back as they're going out. Like, this is the 13th best team in the country, and they looked inept against just because they went on the road and played Butler, the worst, one of the. I mean, I'm not including Georgetown or Paul, but a bottom team.
Right. Yeah.
And they just completely crop themselves. Like, this is a year. Like, I'm thinking, can Providence make the Final Four? I don't know.
Yeah.
They have balls. Like, Hopkins is insane. So I don't know.
It could also be yeah.
Or like
it's the only thing I was.
It could be a year where UCLA's experience might.
I was just saying that. Yeah, I just saw them on the street. I'm like, yeah, like they're hanging up at the top. Mike, you have to stop me. You cannot let me do Arizona again. Okay, like, you can't. I can't do it. I keep seeing them rise up, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, it could
no.
Be
If it's his name. Yeah,
could be the year that Houston breaks the ice. Final Four is in Houston.
I'm feeling a little better about Houston than I have the last couple of years. I'm feeling pretty good about them. There's something he's impressed me more this year, but something I still think Edey's just really tall. He's looked a lot more impressive than last year.
But if you look at the top 25, could you be like Alabama, for example?
Yeah,
they're a Sweet 16 team. Second weekend.
Yeah,
probably not going to be in the Final Four, but they're going to be in the second weekend. Arizona,
they're number 3.
They'll be in the second weekend. Tennessee, they'll be in the second weekend. I feel like there's 30 Sweet 16 teams and 0 Final Four teams.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with it. That's why it's part of me is is it just going to be people who've been there before are going to do it again, like a Kansas, a Houston, a UCLA type deal, just because it's we've done it before, so that's one thing going in their favor. But I don't know.
This team scares me in the tournament just because of the school they are. But Texas, I think they really showed me a lot last Saturday, beating Kansas State on the road.
yeah, that was a good win. I had that on for a little.
Also, early, fought back. So that was good. And they had the depth. So that it's just the whole, not having their coach thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was that muck fest that was Auburn. Was it Auburn, Tennessee?
Last week?
Yeah, was that the muck fest?
43.
Yeah. I just want to make sure I had the teams right there. Yeah. But yeah, let's see. We have a few weeks till we get into championship week and everything.
Sorry, I just had to blow some steam on
something. No, that's fine. No, I agree. I've been obviously you've probably been watching it a little closer than I have, but I'm trying to at least keep my finger on the pulse, and I'm noticing there's a little bit going on. Purdue lost, right? They didn't even move, right? Because everyone else lost the week.
Well, that was the thing. I know it was 1 versus 20, and they were underdogs.
Yeah,
it was 1.5 points, and
right.
They lost. Indiana with Trace Jackson, Davis.
Yeah. And then BC continues to pop bubbles, but not actually getting to
Virginia Tech. They on Saturday at home beat 6th ranked Virginia.
Stay home. NC State today.
Yeah. And then Virginia Tech stays home, doesn't have to travel. 3 days later, hosts the Fighting Eagles, and then they lose.
Yep. Yeah.
No one makes sense.
Quentin Post.
Yeah, he's been nasty.
Yeah, he's good. And then WBC roster. I mean, are there any surprises? I feel like people that we saw rumored are kind of just on the teams. David Fletcher's playing for Italy. I think I saw that.
I do like Stroman being "Oh, I'll play for Puerto Rico this time."
That I don't like. That A-Rod did the same thing. It's like, no, commit to one. I don't know. And I actually like Stroman, but like, come on, pick one or the other. And then yeah, like I said, I'm excited. I mean, I think the USA squad looks good. Dominican team's obviously nasty.
I mean,
So
I can't believe there's plus money on them to win.
Dominican.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I mean, in a giant tournament, like no one's ever going to be minus.
Yeah, it's plus 185 Dominican, plus 250 USA.
Yeah.
Plus 300 Japan. A bit of a drop off, 900 Puerto Rico, and then we get into like the 1700s with like Cuba, Venezuela, Korea.
I was gonna say Venezuela's probably looking pretty good. But yeah, I mean, we can get more into that when we get closer because that starts like early March, right? Like it's only over like a 2 or something like that.
Yeah. You don't want plus 12,500 on Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. How's that? How Netherlands odds? I know Xander's playing for them again.
Plus 5,000. Just between Australia and Canada.
Yeah, but all right. Let's get into some football. I know this is the Super Bowl preview, and we kind of probably spent a good amount of time on the NBA. Just hijacked the week a lot. So we kind of have to be a preview.
Can I start off with a big question?
Yes.
I mean, the media's been asking it this week.
Yeah.
Is this a must-win for the Eagles?
Or can't lose?
We can have that argument too. But
yeah. I'm gonna say can't lose for the Eagles, must win for the Chiefs.
I think it's the other way around. I think it's the other way around. Yeah.
Okay, embrace debate.
Because I think it's
actually, you know what? No, you're right. Yeah, I'm switching. Yeah,
it's a must-win for the Eagles because it's like
you've had this amazing year. You got to win. Yeah.
But if you lose it, it's like, all right, well, that's still an amazing season. Oh well, Philly loses in championships.
Yeah. No,
whereas,
you're right.
On the flip side, Mahomes can't go 1-2 in the Super Bowl, where even that the one he won, he was pretty shaky until the fourth quarter.
Did I what are his numbers? Isn't his touchdown to interception ratio like really bad right now?
Really
like,
bad.
Is it 2 to like 2 to 6 or something, or like 2 to 4? I don't remember.
Yeah,
something like that.
Like I think he was. I think even because I think the one he won was like 2 and it would be 2 and either 2 and 4 or 2 and 5 because I think he had 2 to 2 in the one against San Fran, but he had a rushing touchdown too. But
yeah, yeah, and also I've been overblown, but it actually is. I have been somewhat enjoying, even though one of them I'm not the biggest fan of. Like the Kelce stuff has been cool. Big fan of John Kelce. It was funny. I was listening. What? Let's hear it.
I'm sorry. Like, I know I'm probably biased because I've been reaping his fantasy benefits the last couple of years across leagues, but I don't know why there's that much to hate about Kelce. I feel like everyone hates him.
It's just a vibe, man.
I think it's a bit too far. I guess for me, because I'm like, if I was in his shoes, I'd be doing the same exact thing.
No, I think there's like no, I get being it's just a vibe, man. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. It's just like, and maybe it's because like I'm just, and again, people probably feel this way with the Patriots. Just like there is like a fatigue, and I'm like, well, I know I don't hate Mahomes. Love Andy Reid. I'm like, my hate has to go somewhere, and he's just like a lightning rod for it. You know what I mean? Like someone needs to be the face of, like, it's almost like in National Treasure. Someone's got to go to prison. Like it's just someone's got to feel the hate, and just like, yeah, I don't know, just the whole like oh, Burrow and I don't know, like, again, I like the Rock one. That was actually funny. Like the know you're, I'm giving him credit. I think I've been fair with him. I just
because like,
and I love Jason Kelce. Big Jason Kelce guy.
He has a great voice. He can sing.
Yeah.
Well, did you listen to any the local station this week?
Yeah, well, I listened to it was funny. Zoe and Bertrand, they were trying, like, oh, should we get Donna Kelce on? And I think they were both for it, and then Hardy was against it, and then like they're talking to like T-Bone, they're like, oh, can you be the tiebreaker? And then he pulled out a great Seinfeld quote, and he goes, just the fact that you oppose this makes me think I'm onto something. Like, what were you gonna throw in there?
Well, it was basically just like they're basically yelling at fans for hating on the Chiefs just because like they're good and like we're being, but they have like phony excuses like, well, we just don't like the Chiefs because of his wife or his brother or Kelsey's and one of the
Yeah.
callers was like, honestly, I just don't like the Chiefs because I default to hate. I just hate
Yeah.
people and like they hung up the phone and like Murray's like, well, I can respect that if you just default to hate.
Yeah. Just no, you just get
I,
tired of people after that.
I do agree with him where like any fan that's like just getting like protective over the Patriot dynasty is kind of soft. So that's why if anything, I'm kind of like zagging and kind of like, well, like the Chiefs are fun. Like I didn't like watching Patrick Mahomes in the big game.
No, they're fun, but also like I mean, I almost just want to get ahead of like any sort of like, oh, is he going to be better than Brady? Like it's like, yeah, sure, I'm a little I want him to have a great career though. I want him to be one of the best of all time. I really do. I think it's going to be fun to watch him over the next 10, maybe even 15 years if quarterbacks are where they are now. But like, I don't know, if he goes like 1 and 2, it's like, okay, now start winning. Like, it's like you're clearly not gonna get to that plateau. I mean, maybe he still could, but also I nailed that trivia question. I think they brought it out on PMT. Who's the only other quarterback that was 1 and 2? I immediately was like Kurt Warner. Yeah. But yeah, I know we also had the Brady retirement. Just before we get too deep into the game, he officially. I saw you put the Belichick interview on here. I listened to part of that. Did you listen to that thing?
Yeah, I listened to it. I mean, it was nice to just see them on terms. I don't buy that. It's like, the media drives us apart. Like, I mean, you guys were definitely pissed at each other. That's why you left.
Yeah,
but
it's okay if it's fine now, but like, yeah,
I think it's. I
think
think
it never happened.
Like, I think they're probably pissed at each other, and then like over the course of this year, probably with everything going on, they're probably just like, oh, okay, yeah, we worked together for 20 years. We didn't have the best ending. We don't hate each other. I just like,
yeah,
it's a very amicable relationship now. And he's like, okay, like you're retired. He said in his papers, so it might be legitimate. But
yeah, no, I think it is. I know the whole like, oh, he built in that year. I'm like, yeah, I think he just wants to do nothing for a year, or like figure stuff out before he starts.
I do agree. I've heard people say I think he's such a like junkie
perfectionist
that he's like, oh, I would be shocked if he's like in his house every Sunday, just like taking
grinds tape,
player on every like
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, just kind of fire through. We can kind of talk about more going on. I wish I for the actual game, but like, yeah, obviously we Mahomes won MVP, right? Daboll Coach of the Year.
Jefferson,
have, listen for you.
OPY, Bosa,
right? Which for some reason that still annoys me. It's like how could you be the MVP without winning the best player on your side of the ball? It doesn't. But
I think it's
they basically just made it the non-QB MVP award.
Yes, that's exactly it. It's the QB gets the MVP, but they give a shine to another skill position. But I thought it was going to be a dangerous precedent they're going to send this year. So I thought it was going to be Mahomes MVP, Hurts, OPOY.
Oh yeah, no, you can't do
and
that.
Then I thought it was going to be like, okay, now just 2 quarterbacks are going to win an award every year.
Yeah, no. If you're gonna make it a quarterback award, yeah, OPOY has to be a running back or wide receiver or tight end. So yeah, again, I don't know if we don't have to get too deep into the weeds on that one. And then who ended up making the Hall this year?
I'll pull it up as we talk, but I do want to shout out that the trainer that did resuscitate did get an MVP vote. I think that was great.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. I mean, voting for Chet to get in the All-Star game. I don't see why we can't do that.
The classes: Rondé Barber, Darrell Revis, Joe Thomas, Zach Thomas, DeMarcus Ware. And then some coaches and seniors. But the players, it's Barber, Revis, Thomas, Ware.
Cool. All deserving, I would say. Cool. So
it's a big game. You saw Higgins just completely do offense pass interference on Jalen Ramsey.
I get into the actual game now. Yeah, we kind of talked about some storylines. Oh, did you? I wish I had that graphic in front of me. Did you see like the wild stats about the Chiefs Eagles? Like same exact record, same amount of points scored. Like they had like all these similarities throughout the year. It's like as even as could possibly be.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely the game that you are just like, okay, these are the 2 best teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like you could argue that
exactly.
storylines could have been better if different teams won, but just looking back, it's like this is just a great matchup. That would be really cool. But
Yeah,
I,
it.
I've been gassed.
Yeah,
It's like Super Bowl weekends are always so weird because it's like the weekend comes and you're like, all right, and then it's like, why do I want it to be Sunday night?
Well, I don't want it to be the end of my weekend. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was almost, to a lesser degree, like it was even championship weekend. I feel like we didn't have too much going on. So I was just like, is it bad that I want it to be 3 o'clock on Sunday? Now it's like, is it bad I want it to be 6:30 on Sunday? So I know it's just like you almost want to like pretend that it's not happening so you can enjoy your weekend and be like, oh, all right, here we go. It's nice. Um, but yeah, I totally agree with that. It is weird that like you kind of can't wait to get to a Sunday night. And I get why they do it on TV. What's that?
waiting all
Waiting
day.
all day. Exactly. And I get why there's got to be some sort of like numbers and everything behind it, but it does just suck that like with the bye week, it's like we really couldn't put this on like a Saturday night. Like that'd be so sick. I mean, I get why they don't do it, just because like more people would go out and not watch it, I guess, but it would just be awesome to have.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
Just
the Super Bowl.
with no bye week, I get it, but like with a bye week, it's like, all right, come on, like you could bump it up one day, but
Yeah,
there's got to be people smarter than me that realize the numbers and the revenue and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, we can kind of get into some picks for the game, maybe get into some props before we wrap up. But yeah, as far as I think we talked about it. I mean, it's clearly, I mean, from this year, the two front to end, like the two best quarterbacks from the year, you'd say, right?
yeah. I mean, I think the storyline actually it's weird that it's on both sides of the football. It's going to be how these quarterbacks look health wise with
Yeah.
Mahomes' mobility and then Hurts' ability to throw
Yeah.
because luckily he hasn't had to do much since he came back
Hmm.
with them just running all over the Giants and the 49ers, and that could be the case. They might just run all over the Chiefs. But that's why in this game I'm leaning if I think if the Eagles are gonna win, it'll be kind of like a 10-point victory type of deal.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
I think if it comes down to a one possession game where there's gonna be a lot of key passes that need to get thrown, I gotta
Hmm.
lean Kansas City. Just gotta go with Mahomes. But
Hmm.
like I hate coming off of like Hurts can't throw the ball to win take, but I think it's strictly his health type of thing. He's not
Yeah.
the same quarterback that was in October.
Yeah, and I forget it. I don't know if it was the radio or PMT this week. Bring up the good point. Like it almost seemed like that last touchdown run that Hurts had against the Niners. It was like okay, like this game's in hand, so we're just showing you I can still do this. Like I like planned for this for next week. Right? It's not like
Yeah,
So it made it seem like he was a bit healthier. He still has that ability in there to run and everything. So yeah, like you said, the quarterback's health is like you've been bringing it up the last few weeks, I think, with the different championship games and everything, but the battle in the trenches too, because I mean the Eagles on both sides of the line have been awesome this year, and then the Chiefs D line, again, Chris Jones has just been phenomenal too. So we'll see how those matchups go, because that could be just like a war going on in the trenches in this game.
yeah, like it's gonna be Chris Jones is like this is he could have a Donald-esque game. Like if they come on top,
Mhm.
like if they can just stymie the run a little bit, that will
Yeah.
be instrumental for them because then it'll force them into more third and longs where they're gonna have to throw. I mean, clearly have all the weapons with Brown,
Mhm.
Smith, Goddard, so on and so forth. But it's at a point where like if it's like 3rd and 4, they know they can get 4 yards in 2 plays. So
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
it's definitely going to come down. I mean, the advantage is definitely equals there. So if the Chiefs can just hold their own, tread some water, that's going to be instrumental in that game.
Yeah. Um, and then yeah, I mean, official pick. I've been on the Eagles, so I mean, I don't really believe in it. I'm not like too. Again, it's literally like one of the closest spreads I think ever in the Super Bowl. So you could really go either way, but I'll go with the Eagles in this one. Um, but yeah, I really wouldn't be surprised either way in this game. And then
Yeah.
total, I think have to go over. I don't even know what it is. Was it?
Because it was, I mean, it was 5 straight overs to start. Then it's been what, like 7 straight unders.
Yeah. Because what is it right now?
Uh, I can pull it up.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's fun to root for points, especially if you don't have
Yeah, I mean,
strong rooting
yeah,
interest.
it could be a thing where it's like you're watching the game and it's like, why did I take the over when the Eagles can just chew up the clock and have an amazing defense? But it's also like, well, it's Patrick Mahomes. Let's have some fun.
It's Patrick Mahomes, exactly. Yeah.
51.
51.
Yeah.
Okay. How might it just that could be right on the money. That's like a 27-24. That's literally right on the money. Um, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'll still take the Eagles. I'll probably take the over too. And then I don't know. We can get into some. Want to get into some props here?
Can I give my pick?
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, I thought you did. Go ahead.
It's one of those things where I'm kind of being a jackass and towing the line, being like, well, I have a future on Kansas City, so I'm going to predict them to
Yeah,
win, but I think the
yeah.
Phillies going to win. It's like my thing that I'm doing right now, kind of being a pompous a-hole. But I guess
Prediction.
my official pick is going to be 30-28, KC.
Okay, fine. I'll give a score too. I'll go 34-28 Eagles.
I think it's going to be a weird thing where it'll be a heartbreaking Philly, a 2-point conversion at the end.
Oh, okay. Wait, a 2-point conversion at the a failed. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Like a failed
it's gonna be a weird like 30-22. This game's gonna get weird at
Okay.
some point. Like
All right, Boomer. All right.
like the Eagles might go for 2 at some point. Like I think like Sirianni is so like a Philadelphia historian. They could run like a Philly special on a 2-point conversion.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
make it like 8-0.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, let's get into some props again, some regular game props and fun. You might have these up, Mike, but I mean, I just think I'm always just something like stuff with Travis Kelce. I'm gonna have to take whether it's receptions or like a TD thing. It's tough because I can't tie in the win because I'm thinking the Eagles are gonna win. Maybe a first time touchdown for him. I don't know.
I already have that bet placed for
What
one
are
of your friends.
what's that? Oh yeah, man, Matt Ham running those in. Because like the Eagles are weird. Like I want to do that, but like they kind of have like an unpredictable offense. Sometimes it's like Devontae Smith heavy. Sometimes it's AJ Brown. Like I'll
I
have to
think
take a
this is
look at
going to
those
be an
again.
AJ Brown game. I think I heard that the Chiefs secondary has a tough time at slot receiver. So like that's usually like you pick the wide receiver 3 in the scenario. But I think because of this, I think Sirianni's going to game plan and puts Brown in the slot a lot more.
Okay, all right.
Because I mean, because I feel like Smith is kind of a linkier guy. You might want to keep him like the outside, kind of going like horizontal and up the sidelines. So I think Brown. I also thought I did hear that with like guys like Goddard or like Quez Watkins, you can tell early if they're in the game plan or not.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if I think it's like if you see like Goddard get a couple catches early, that means like they're gonna be in a lot more sets where like him and Watkins can get a lot of action. But I feel like they might pretty good in there.
Yeah.
A guy I do like too is Gainwell. I think it
Is what?
Gainwell. I think they're going to be spreading the wealth, rushing the ball. Like I don't think it's going to be just Miles Sanders. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely take a look at a lot of these just to kind of decide what I want to do, what I'm feeling, and everything. One that's again maybe a bit more off the board that I'm thinking about a lot. And I think how about that? Still that over 2.5 quarterbacks to throw a pass in the or people to throw a pass in the game.
I like that. I do like the tied again after 0-0. Still got to figure out what color I want.
I know. I mean, I know they had the Lane Johnson interview yesterday, which could make you think just OG lemon lime. What's some other one? The game time one is interesting. That was it like the 10-15, like before or after.
I don't know. I feel like this game's gonna be. I think it's gonna be long. I don't think it's gonna be a traditional 3.5-hour Super Bowl where the game's 3 and the halftime show's a half hour. I feel like it's either gonna be like game you blink and it's over, or it's gonna be long and dramatic. And I'm just gonna go the other. It's gonna be one. It's gonna be one on the spectrum. I'm just gonna go.
Oh yeah, that's a hot take there, Mike. It's either gonna be long or short.
Well, I meant like not like like you imagine the Super Bowl, it goes from 6:30 to 10. I feel like it's either going to be like 9:30 or 10:30.
Okay,
is that fair?
Yeah, I'm still thinking Diamond for first song from Riri, but
Derby,
um,
that.
Disturbed. I don't hate it. I mean, like, it's just something like it got in my head now, and I'm like, I can't think about it again because if I change and then she plays that, I'm gonna hate myself.
Yeah,
So I
I
just gotta
said
stick with it.
Disturbia a month ago, so I'm just sticking with it.
Yeah, same.
But
Yeah, I did the same thing.
what was I gonna say?
Um,
Because I've heard someone has three rules. I think it was outside of like one occasion. It's always not a new song. It's a classic. Can you hear me?
um, you still got me, Mike?
Yeah, I gotcha. So it's always a new song. It's
Okay,
not a new
cool.
song, so it's a classic. So it won't be like the song "Lift Me Up." Won't be that.
Whatever. Yeah.
It's never a ballad, so it won't be like "Stay."
Stay. Yeah.
Won't be that. And then it's recognizable by the first note.
Right, which I think we both have.
I think
If it was
and
outside, Umbrella could play.
but again, that's one where like I don't think they do features a lot because technically Jay-Z is the first person to sing in that.
Yeah, true. That's a good point.
Also, okay, actually, yes, the halftime show bets came in.
I might enjoy that because I was looking, even if I did cross the actually, I'm probably not going to cross them anyway. But
Yeah, halftime bets on my book, but it's just her hair and outfit color.
wait, there's no song in yours?
It wasn't up yesterday. It'll probably be up tomorrow. I like how my books are so messed up.
Okay.
It just started adding like Giants and Packers logos.
That is something about next year. No.
I think my favorite is "Please Don't Stop the Music" because it also falls in that category.
That's true. All right.
But
yeah. Yeah. Okay. You go Disturbia, I'll go Diamond.
Right to start.
I just said that one note for Diamond, like a boom, like that, like just to set the tone for the whole show. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other props there. Like
Tails.
That's what I was saying. I might zig that. I might zig and go heads on that.
Well, I think for me, I think I've just decided I'm never gonna change. I'm just gonna bet tails every year. I'm gonna win some years, I'm gonna lose others. And
yeah,
same thing with like the over.
I get that. On the what?
Over on the anthem time.
Oh yeah. Okay. Who's doing that again?
Chris Stapleton.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have no idea. Can't get a read on that guy. No. Yeah. And then I'm thinking maybe we might see a Goddard touchdown too at some point. I don't know. Jalen Hurts. I'm gonna have to look at the touchdown ones just to see what I'm feeling at the moment because I can see being a number of guys.
It's stuff I want to give out here, but also like a lot of them. It's like you just got like 3:00 on Sunday. Just
where's your brain? Where's your brain? Yeah, exactly. So
many picks right now. One I did like. There's some that I can't find in my book. I'm gonna actually run this is Kansas City to call the first timeout. I think I've heard. I think I've heard that Sirianni, since he's been a coach, they've never called a timeout for like not getting the play in.
Okay.
It's always at the end of the half, just trying to do it. So it's never like 3rd and long, and they're like, it's gonna be the first drive of the game. They'll do it, but
yeah. So I know what you mean.
Back on the opening kickoff bet.
Yeah, like I don't know. I felt like I was feeling like last year. I had a good Super Bowl last year, obviously, but I was really feeling like T. Higgins. He got in. Like Odell, I think I put on too, but yeah, just I don't know. These quarterbacks kind of spread it around a lot. I can see going a number of ways, but yeah, I think it's just gonna be a vibe feeling mid-afternoon tomorrow.
Yeah,
all player props, maybe Mahomes yardage. I don't know, but like
also, you know what's got a big game? Pacheco.
What's that?
Pacheco.
You think Pacheco's gonna have a good game? All right. I can't get a read on him either. I'm like, I could see him having a game, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I need like a whole sheet in front of me. I need a whole sheet. What's that?
But they kind of phased out McKinnon in the playoffs.
That's true. CAH coming back.
Yeah. Let's see if he does anything.
People forget. Yeah, see if he does anything. Could be a smokescreen. But yeah, I think I just need to take a look at a whole sheet and everything. Yeah, there weren't any that I'm like feeling like, or not any. There's a few, but like I mean, there's not a lot that are just I'm doing this. I think you just gotta, like you said, get a good night's sleep tonight. Wake up, feel where you're at, and just send it.
Run the Celtics game and just crack open
Yeah.
a laptop and just see where the day takes you.
I'll do my usual call to you probably instead of text.
Yeah.
What are you doing, by the way?
I wish I had a couple people over here. I know that you're doing the same thing.
At least Ham's coming. I don't know, but we've invited more people. No one's committed. So at the very least, a 3-person get together. But yeah, should be a good time. But yeah, hope everyone enjoys the game. We'll see. We'll maybe recap either Wednesday or Saturday, kind of depending on our schedules. Go over some picks we did make, what worked out, what didn't, obviously, and what the outcome of the game is. I just hope we have a great game, really, because I know there was really pre us. There were a lot of bad games, and we mostly had good games in our life. So I want to keep that going.
Yeah, I agree.
But all right. Well, like I said, thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you have a great big game Sunday. I'll say just in case. But
if they take us down, fine. I mean, someone's lost.
That's true. It's a good point. Hope everyone's a great Super Bowl Sunday. Michael, heads up for your people. 17 squares remain in my pool, so if people want to get in on that, spread the word.
Yeah, I can kind of put my foot on the gas tonight if I have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing some recruiting today too, but filled up like I thought it would. I was a bit nervous, so
I like I picked like some of the same rows as people I like, so I can be like rooting for half the same score.
Right.
Yeah, I think
exactly.
like me and Matt, or I can.
It's gonna be the most random people as usual. It's gonna be like
the same Chiefs column, and I think I'm with Mom on like the Eagles or something like that.
Yeah, but awesome. All right. Well, hope everyone enjoys the rest of your Saturday, and yeah, let's have a great game on Sunday.
See ya.